Hi, friends. Welcome back to another Pick a Card tarot reading. Actually, no, this is I'm used to my spiel. This is a weekly tarot reading. So, welcome in. Just a quick little schedule on what we're going to do today. Today, we're going to do all of the zodiac signs. We're going to go through each one first. Then, we'll do a collective reading. And then, if there's anybody hanging out in the chat that wants a reading, I might open up the floor depending on how much time we have and how things are looking. So we're going to start right away with Aries. Aries, what do you need to know this week? What do my Aries need to know? Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm using a new deck today, so hopefully that doesn't derail things. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I need a card for Aries, please. Ooh, this deck is picky, so we gotta be picky together. Okay. Aries, Ace of Swords. Okay, so Aries, this week is going to be all about tapping into new perspectives. This week is bringing you an opportunity to think about things differently. And with the King of Wands, it's almost like it's time to think about things from a way where really starting to ask yourself the question, how can I think about myself in a way where I am honoring just how powerful I am, the powerful creator being that is me. How am I honoring that and bringing that to the forefront? So this week is going to be all about learning how to see that side of you, maybe a little bit stronger. Maybe if that side of you is something that's hidden, this week for my Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, it's all about really connecting into that and really asking yourself, well, how can I even see that for myself? What can I do to bring that in? And I think that as you do that, there's this real sense of, hold on, sorry, new deck, new imagery. This is actually the very first time I've looked at this deck. It's pretty cool. It's the Shadowscapes Companion. It's really beautiful. So as you start to look within and you start to go down this feeling of, well, how do I even figure out who I am and what I want out of life? And how do I allow myself to see that I can make anything happen? I see that you have the opportunity to really kind of tap into feelings, and don't be too afraid this week for my Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If anything arises as you start to see yourself as this powerful creator being, that you get triggered, right? Sometimes as we begin to see the large aspects of who we are, sometimes we can get really triggered, and that can bring up a lot of old stuff. So if you really are finding yourself catapulting forward this week, you might end up seeing some of that old stuff. If it pops up, don't worry too much about it. We have some helpful hints here. It's sort of, with the Five of Swords in this particular deck and instance, I'm really feeling this sense of like cutting it out, cutting it away, letting it go. So it's almost as though when those things pop up, you can start to think of it as this, like, this doesn't have to be my experience anymore. And in fact, I can make anything happen because ultimately you have the sun here. So there's real sun energy opening up to you this week. And I think that for my Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this is a really happy, open week for you where you're really feeling connected, tuned in. And ultimately, I see a sense of finally overcoming struggle. Ultimately, I think that this week is going to be feeling like you have the upper hand and coming on top of things when maybe it hasn't felt all that way completely. So this week is all about really tapping into that and feeling a connection with that powerful inner being that is you. So Aries, I hope that resonated. We're going to move on. Just going to do some quick shuffling. This deck, like I said at the beginning, this is a new deck for me. So I'm learning how it works. There it goes. Okay. It was a little curmudgeon-y for a moment. So after Aries, we've got Taurus. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What do my Taurus need to know? Ooh, the Fool. Excellent. Taurus, this is great. This is like a bright new day. This is a opportunity for a new journey, but also sort of whimsy. This is the very first deck of the entire tarot deck, and because of that, it marks the beginning of the journey, especially of the trump cards. You know, the major arcana. It is the quintessential start moment, starting gun. And so this week, I think you're going to be like, especially saying that, I think you're going to be like really rearing and itching to go this week. And similar card to the Aries, you do have this overcoming of the struggle, but it's finally coming out on top, in a place where maybe you feel like you haven't in a long time. It's this opportunity this week to really feel as though you can incorporate this sense of anything can happen for me. I can be anything. And I can overcome anything. Now, with the Justice card here, I think that there's an opportunity for you to balance things out, Taurus. So maybe as you have this new start, new beginnings energy, it's coming from a place of wanting to do something a little bit differently, start something a little bit new to find real balance in your life. And so for my Taurus Sun, Moon, and Rising this week, this could be a real opportunity for you to take the time to feel as though you're balanced. And then also, you know, there could be some kind of karmic justice coming into your life this week too. This could be as simple as a past situation, you know, a past good that you've done paying you back this week. This could be something coming back too. You know, there could be some situation from your past that was a positive thing, coming back in, popping back in to give you a little bit of a leg up this week. And finally, you have the Seven of Cups here, which in this particular deck, I mean, it is about multiple opportunities, but look at this person here. It's hard to see with my weirdo lighting going on. You can kind of tell, Taurus, that this person is holding a roadmap here. And then one person's pointing up this way. This person's looking at a map. They got lots of cups and stuff going on. It's almost like this is an opportunity for you to go a little bit off book. I'm feeling that. You know, maybe you've been looking at the map too much in your life, and you've been playing it by this plan for too long. And I think that this week is giving you an opportunity, even if it's just a scenic journey. You know, take a look at this like cool tree thing. You know, even if they're just going to go sightseeing up here for a minute and then come back to their whatever travels they're on, it could be this week, Taurus, that this is an opportunity for you to take a moment out. Take a moment out and look at things a little differently, do something different, shake it up a little. I think you're being encouraged to shake it up a little, especially with that new journeys here too. Is that maybe by shaking it up a little bit, you start to see from a new perspective in such a way that you can really move in something that feels good. Okay, so moving on, we're going to go to Gemini now. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What can my Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising expect this week? Let's find out. And welcome to anybody who's watching live. Welcome to everyone who's watching in post. Either way, we're going to look at Gemini. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. They're starting to pop out now. This deck's warmed up to me. That's great. Took a minute. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What can my Geminis expect this week? This week is okay. This week, the universe is trying to give you a gift, Gemini, and for whatever reason, you're not seeing it. So why not? Why are you not noticed the gift that the universe is giving you? Okay. Oh my gosh, Gemini. Oh my gosh, Gemini. This is incredible. You've got the sun and you've got the 10 of Pentacles. So not only is this like a bright, beautiful, wonderful new day for my Geminis this week, this is going to be a powerful week. This is a power week for you, Gemini. With the sun and the 10 of Pentacles, this is a powerful week of abundance. My Geminis are like power manifestors this week. So there's some real manifestation energy. There's real abundance. There's real tapping into the world around you in a clear, grounded sort of way. So that's really possible for you this week. And I think that you're not seeing it for whatever reason, which is interesting. It's almost like this week you're really being encouraged to let go a little bit and trust. This is big trust energy, Gemini. And I think that maybe that's a little bit tough because you've got all of these plans and these things and these actions going on here. But in reality, behind you, you have this like beautiful gift that's being flown to you by these angel beings. I like this deck. This is a pretty deck. This is a great deck. I'm really happy with this. But anyway, so So trust. You're being really encouraged to trust, Gemini. Let go, let it go, trust it, trust the process, know it's coming, right? So Gemini, that's it for you. I hope that's helpful. We're going to move on. I know these are short and sweet, but yeah, we'll give it. That's why everybody, I encourage you to check your sun, moon, and rising signs, because your sun, your moon, and your rising will really show you the true combination. So next up we have Cancer. Cancer. Oh, you got a packet. Okay. Well, it's not too many cards. Cancer. What can we expect for Cancers? Okay. Yep. A little bit of an overthinking energy. So on the one hand, just be a little careful with that. Understand that you have like real happiness energy, flowing of emotions though. Like Cancer is a really deeply emotional sign, right? And being able to connect into those true depths of your emotions, sometimes it can feel like a curse, but sometimes it can be a real gift. And I think for Cancer this week, I think to overcome, if you're feeling like you got any kind of anxiety going on, or you're feeling like there's any kind of overthinking going on this week, just understand that you have this powerful connection to this deep inner well of compassion. So this week, I think, if you are experiencing difficult stuff or you're not, either way, there's an opportunity for my Cancers this week to really tap into this deep well of compassion that you have for yourself. So I really encourage some kind of self-love practice for you this week, because I think that'll help you feel a little bit more connected to self, connected to the world around you, and start to feel a little bit more comfortable. And I think it'll help you feel a little bit less stuck too, because with the Eight of Swords, it's like there might be some kind of stuck energy going on in your life this week. Nothing too crazy, but if you are feeling stuck or whatever, the way through it is really an encouragement to go within and tap into this deep well of emotion that exists within you, that you can share this connection to compassion and love and kindness. You can share that with yourself this week in a way that I think could be really powerful. And finally, you have the Hermit. So there's a sense here too that as you do this work, it might take a little bit of going off on your own. So you might be encouraged this week, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, to take a minute on your own and take some time for yourself if you have the opportunity, and tune back in. And I think that might help you alleviate any kind of anxiety you might be feeling, and walk away from any of this overly overthinking, over anxious energy, and tap back into this deeply self-compassionate self that is your wheelhouse. Cancer is all about the emotions and flowing with those emotionality. So that's your real strength, so tap into that. Anyway, Cancers, I hope you have an excellent week. We're going to move on now to Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We'll just do a little shuffle. This is the Shadowscapes Companion deck. I just got a couple decks from a really nice person. If you're watching, hi. There's some Facebook groups I'm a part of, and somebody was getting rid of some tarot decks, and I got this channel, so I was like, yeah, I'll take some. Do we want one more? No, we just want these. Okay, Leo. Oh, because there's 4. Leo. What can Leos expect this week? This week is happy memories from the past. There could be a childhood energy. Some people here might have children, not necessarily, right? But there is this sense of connecting into the little kid within you. Play is going to be huge for you this week. I think for my Leos, there's a real encouragement not to take things too seriously this week, to take a little bit of the childlike perspective in life, and understand that not everything has to be intense. Not everything has to be crazy. Not everything has to be serious, right? And so you're being encouraged to not take your life so seriously this week. Maybe there's some real lighthearted activities coming in that you can really share with yourself. And I think as you do that, I think that the way forward becomes a little bit clearer. And so, you might feel as though that you have a lot of opportunities and pathways ahead of you. But just like I was saying with the Taurus got this card too. I really like this 7 of Cups, because you've got this one guy who's like looking at this map, and you have all of these cups ahead of you, but this other person is like, wait, no, what if we just go hang out at this tree place, this island tree place for a minute? Like, what would that be like? Maybe we could do that. So, it's like taking the scenic route and taking a detour for your life this week, I think is going to be really, really good for you. So, if you have a lot of things you're trying to do and you're trying to manifest stuff, or you're trying to make things happen, you're trying to work through life, you're trying to start that business, you're trying to make this thing, right? Whatever it is that you're trying to do in life, this week might be an opportunity for you to take a little bit of a break from the serious stuff and, try to add play back into your life here. And you got the Emperor. So yeah, just understand that you're the emperor of your life. And I think that, especially if you are, if you're a really hard worker and you're trying to make things work at work and you're trying to do all this stuff, understand you got this, right? Like you really do. So trust yourself. You are the emperor of your life, and you're in the driver's seat here. You're in control. So don't feel as though you don't have that ability within you. Your final card, Leo, is the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, just like our Gemini's, ultimate abundance. So, you have ultimate abundance for you this week. So I do think it's sort of like, especially, I just feel a little bit of work, in work areas for my Leos this week. Even though, you got a lot of work to do, trust that the abundance is there, and that you can take that pause, you can take that break, because I think that's going to be really important this week, to take a little detour and do something that makes your inner child feel good, do something fun, add play into your life this week. And I think that as you do that, I think that, that abundance energy gets even more set than what you might be feeling. Okay, so that was Leo's. Leo, thank you so much. Anybody who's tuning in live, welcome to this reading. Anybody who's in post, welcome as well. This is a weekly tarot reading. We just got through Leo's, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Next up, we have Virgo. So Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What can we expect this week for Virgo's Sun, Moon, and Rising? Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. There we go. This is a brand new tarot deck I just got. Whoops. So I'm still getting used to it. This is actually the first time I've looked at many of these cards. So it's really fun to see the new artwork and stuff. Okay, Virgo, what can we expect this week? The first card that popped out for you is Strength. So for my Virgos, this week is really about tapping into your own inner strength. And, whether your strength is tested this week, I'm not going to predict that. I'm not going to say, whether that's going to be it. But, this is an opportunity this week, regardless of whether you feel like you have to use your strength or not, that you can tap into this deep inner strength that exists within you. And you have this deep, powerful, look, we got a lion on this card. And so it is still Leo season here. So there is a sense of like tapping into that Leo energy here right before we get to Virgo, because we're almost in your sign, right? So we're just about there. So as we move into Virgo here, there's a little bit of like taking that Leo energy with you this week as you prepare for, coming into your sign, Virgo. We got the Two of Swords. So I do think there's a bit of a decision energy coming for my Virgos this week as well. You've got an opportunity to make a choice on something, and you might be having a difficulty kind of figuring out where to go, how to move forward. And so that's, I think, where this strength is coming in, is just to understand that you have the strength to make whatever decisions you need for yourself. And so really trust yourself, trust your knowledge, trust your inner wisdom, because it's there for you, and it's going to lead you in the right direction. Now we have the Seven of Pentacles. So I do think, you've been putting in a lot of hard work in certain areas, and I think you're about ready to harvest here. This particular card, this woman is harvesting that. So there is a sense that, harvesting, the harvest is almost here. With the Seven of Pentacles, it's usually like it's not quite harvest season. There's like a little bit more work to do. So it's sort of encouraging you to continue to put that in, And like I said too, it's like we're almost in your sign, Virgo, but we're not quite there yet. So what do you need to do to prepare yourself to enter into Virgo season? Finally, we have the Justice card. So there is a real sense here for my Virgos this week that that justice is on your side. This is an opportunity for you to rebalance. If you feel like you've been a little bit out of balance, maybe this week is a good opportunity to bring yourself back into balance. And also that you have the power and the ability to tap into whatever you need for yourself. And so that's here for you too. Anyway, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I hope that was helpful, and I hope you have an excellent week. We're going to move on now to Libra. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What do my Libras need to know? Welcome to everybody who's tuning into this live. And welcome to everybody who's tuning in post. This is a weekly tarot reading. We're tapping into all of the signs, and then at the end we'll have a collective reading as well. And there might even be some time for some free personal readings if you want one of those. So stick around. We are tuning in now to the sign of Libra. So Libra, what can we expect? We got the Two of Pentacles. So, Libras, this week you might be feeling as though you're having to juggle a lot. And so if you're juggling a lot of things, you're holding a lot of cards here, just understand that you do have the power to bring that into balance if you need to. So if need be, if you're feeling unbalanced, you're feeling like you can't hold it, just understand that you have the power to do that. So this week might be about learning how to juggle effectively. So for my Libra sun, moon, and rising, what are the aspects of your life that you're juggling, and how can you learn to hold them a little bit more stable this week? We've got the Lovers card. So obviously not for everybody, but for some of you, this might be a nice romantic week, but obviously, like I said, take it as it resonates for you and your situation. Otherwise, this might be a really good opportunity for you to tap into the self a little bit more as well. And, Libras can be a very sociable sign. So maybe this is also about socializing a little bit more too and putting yourself out there. So as you're juggling all of the things, there might be some aspect of really taking the time to have fun, to be with yourself, to be in a positive aspect within yourself, and to meet with other people as well, and to be sociable, to be out there. We got the Queen of Wands, so I think you might be feeling a bit of inspiration this week, especially with the Ace of Wands too. So I think a final thing for my Libras this week is this week might be a real inspiring week to you, and so you might be feeling as though you have the opportunity to make different things happen that you didn't understand before. So you might be having some creative breakthroughs this week. So if you do tap into that, I think maybe that's a part of where this juggling is coming in, is like all of the things that you're holding, maybe you need to make a little bit of space for this creative breakthrough this week. So if you feel as though you feel inspired to make a change or to do things a little bit differently, ride that energy, feel it out. If you feel like you need to do that, go for it. So anyway, Libra, sun, moon, and rising, that was for you. We're going to move on now to Scorpio. So for everybody tuning in, this is a live tarot reading. What to expect this week for all of the energies here. We're going to do a collective reading at the end, and maybe even have some time for some personal readings. But before we do that, we are going to do Scorpio. So Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. What can my Scorpios expect? Okay, interesting. There's been some repeat energies going on here, so that's okay. I think that's been happening with a lot of people. So for my Scorpios, got some bonus cards. Scorpio, this is also an opportunity for you this week to make sure that you're juggling things in the right way. I think for my Scorpios too, you've got a lot going on. You're working on a lot. You got a lot of dynamic things going on. And so it might be hard to feel a sense of balance and to feel as though you can hold it all. So this week might be giving you an opportunity to learn how to do that a little bit more effectively. So ride that energy out. You also have a lot of inspiration coming to you with that Queen of Wands. It's funny, those two kind of just popped right back out, but that's okay. I think maybe that's important. There's a sense here that you might be feeling creative breakthroughs too and feeling inspired. So ride that energy. Now, also, I think that it's coming from a place of finally breaking out of this stuck energy. You've got the Hanged Man. So there's a sense that maybe you've been feeling a little bit stuck lately, or you've been feeling as though you don't know how to move forward. And maybe that's a part of this juggling too, is like you feel like you're really stuck with all these things you have to do and you don't know, how to make that work. But I do think there's a sense here that you're finally coming to a sense of a breakthrough with this and some wisdom. And maybe that's a part of where this Queen of Wands energy comes in with it as well, is that there's a real insight and wisdom into this situation coming in for you this week, Scorpio, where I think you're going to have some powerful insights, because we also have the Judgment card. So the Judgment card can be about learning how to see things from a larger perspective, almost like a bird's eye point of view of reality. And so there's a sense here that this week is really about learning how to see everything that's been going on in your life and your situation from a bit of a larger perspective. So you're not feeling as though things are stuck in any one direction, but you start to understand the larger context within which everything has happened and occurred. And when you get that context and that insight, I think that that opens you up to feeling a little bit less stuck, like we were saying with that hanged man. And I think that you're going to see this this moment of clarity where you can start to finally see the gifts that the universe is giving you, instead of paying attention to all the things that might not be working out in life, to finally start to see the things that are working, and to understand a little bit more of the nuance about your life and about why things have been happening the way they've been happening. So I think that for my Scorpio sun, moon, and rising, I think that this week is going to be some real breakthrough energy. So just be a little bit careful with all the things that you're juggling, and really take the time to see things from this larger perspective, because I think that that perspective is coming in for you this week. Okay, that was Scorpio. Next up, we've got, who's next? Sagittarius? Yeah, Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. Ooh, there you go. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. What can we expect? Okay, so for my Sagittarius this week, I think you're okay. Well, some powerful energy, but that's okay. We'll figure that out. Sometimes powerful things come in, and we got to deal with them. So you got the Three of Swords, so that's the heartbreak card. So for my Sagittarius this week, I think it's a little bit about learning how to ride through the heartbreak. If you're going through it right now, and maybe this could be past energy. This doesn't have to be current. I'm not predicting anything, so I'm not going to say like something horrible is going to happen or anything this week like that. I don't like to read that way. I don't think that that's appropriate, and I don't think that's what's going on for you. But I do think we all go through difficult situations sometimes, and so if the things are coming up to you this week, if you're really feeling it, or you're feeling the edge of the sword here, just understand that that's a part of it. That's a part of life, and that you're not alone. I think that's a big thing. Is really huge. Is that you're not alone if you're feeling these, feelings. So just understand that. Learn how to share compassion and share space with yourself if you need it. And there's no problem with taking the time to really take some time if you're feeling rough, if you really are stuck in it and you're feeling as though things aren't working, because you also have the death card here. So there is a bit of a big major transformation and change happening in your life right now, potentially this week. Just in general, I think it's been a common theme for some of this. So I think a lot of us are going through a lot of powerful energies right now. And so with that, that difficulty, if that's what's happening right now, just be present with yourself and give yourself the time and the space you need to go through those, because those kinds of transformations are not always easy. And you have the Hermit card too. So there's really an understanding this week that taking the time and the space to come back to yourself, to be with your own being, to show yourself compassion when you need it. I think all of that's going to be huge for you and help you feel a little bit more grounded, a little bit more stable, a little bit more, like you can move through life in a way that isn't just pain, right? And I'm not saying that's like all you're going through. I think for my Sagittarius, I want to pull some more cards, just because I don't want to leave you in a gross space, So yeah, I think as you do that, I think that this is really talking about, ultimately you do have victory on your side here with the Six of Swords. So, I do think that this week, especially if this is like past energy, I think this is sort of like sometimes things come up because we need to address them again before we can finally move on, and I do think that that's a part of what's going on with, especially with that death card, is like you're on the precipice of this breakthrough and this transformation. And when we go through those, sometimes the universe gives us these opportunities to finally see those things again before we really break through into that victory of like, okay, you've done a lot of growth, you've done a lot of movement, like, are you really ready to move on or not? And if you're not ready to move on, then the universe, gives it back to you again until you're ready to learn those lessons and move through it. But I do think I see that you're on the precipice of that. And so, really ride that energy this week, Sagittarius, with the Chariot. There's this swift catapulting towards victory for you. There really is. And so ride with it. So if things might feel a little bit challenging in this moment, just know that you have that victory it's ahead of you. It's here for you. It's not going away. And so, don't feel as though you're bound by the the nature of the world around us, that you're not necessarily, you don't have to let the society and culture dictate what you need for yourself, so just understand that. And you do have justice here for you as well, so there's real justice coming in for you, Sagittarius. So stick with it, and don't feel as though things aren't going to work out for you, right? Because things can work out for you, and you have victory ahead of you here. So Sagittarius, I hope that that's helpful. And I hope you have an excellent week. That's an opportunity for a really good week for you. So I hope you have one. Next up, we've got Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Just going to do a quick shuffle. Welcome to everybody who's watching live. Love to see people in the chat. So thank you so much for being here. We're going through the zodiac signs right now for readings. We're going to continue that for a little bit. Then we're going to do a collective reading. And then after that, I can open the floor to some free personal readings if anybody wants one. So we're going to keep going here. This is for Capricorn. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What can Capricorns expect this week? There we go. Okay, Capricorn, this week, it's funny. Some of these just keep popping out, so we're gonna keep putting it out. This is definitely something to mention, I think, for the collective energy, because this has come out for many signs. But we have the Seven of Cups, and I love the Seven of Cups in this deck. It's a different look than what I'm used to, so it's great. With this particular Seven of Cups, this person is looking at a map here. And, they're really focused on this map, and they've got all these cups ahead of them and all these possibilities. But the partner that they're with, this other person, is like, hey, look at this amazing city up here on the sky. Like, what if we go check that out? So I think that this week for my Capricorns, this week is an opportunity for you to maybe take a pause from what you're working on and go off on a little wild goose chase this week. Give yourself some kind of moment to stop and smell the flowers, right? Really go check something out that maybe you wouldn't. I challenge you this week, Capricorn, to really take the opportunity to maybe to really take a real break, even if it's a short one from the grind, from the work, from whatever it is you're doing, and take some time to maybe go on a little journey, travel somewhere, do something a little bit different. Take a vacation, take a staycation, but it's like, visit somewhere new, try something different. I think that if you give yourself that opportunity this week, I think I see you really tapping into this energy of like feeling really good about yourself, right? Because sometimes we can learn a lot about ourselves when we do something a little bit different. Now you have the Three of Pentacles here, and it's usually about building strong foundations with community. But with this particular deck, it's interesting. I mean, we have this all of the people in this are this like very elven fey people, which I love. I love that imagery. But these two are kind of like they're holding them together up. So it's like they've got a little family here. So I think it's sort of like, tapping into that family energy potentially, but knowing that it takes a village to raise a family, right? What's that? Yeah, it takes a village to raise a family. Funny, that's popping into my head, but that's kind of what I'm feeling. It's sort of like, you're not in this alone. I think that's really big. So for my Capricorns, I think it's like tap back into your support structure this week too. Who is it that's on your team? Who's on your side here? Who can you go ask advice from, and who can you go hang out with, and that kind of thing. I think it's sort of like this is a great week to tap into those resources, and maybe you could also be a helping hand to somebody in your life this week. And so if you reach out to someone because you want to reach out, they might feel really grateful that you did that, and they might reach out back, and it might create this really kind, powerful feedback loop of possibilities for yourself that is really powerful. Now we have the Fool. Interesting. Yeah, so some more. It's funny, all of these cards keep popping out for everybody, but with the Fool here, it's sort of showing me that there is an opportunity this week for you to start something new, to do something different, and to tap into that foolish energy and that wandering energy and that aimless energy. This week is a real opportunity for you to tap into aimlessness, which I know is actually really difficult for some people. And obviously I don't want to generalize too much about the signs, but from what I know about Capricorn, like aimlessness, I think is a really challenging thing for a Capricorn, right? Because you have a plan and you have action and you got to move with the plan. And it's sort of like, no, the spontaneity is going to be your friend this week. So really, tap into that spontaneous energy. And I think that that's going to alleviate you from feeling the struggle of like this like fighting energy, because we have the Seven of Wands, which can be like the fight and the battle and overcoming the fight. But I think for me, with this looking in this way, I think it's interesting. It's like this person is protecting his family. Yeah. So you know what? This fox is protecting its family from this badger. And I do feel as though that's a big thing. It's sort of Capricorn. This week is like you being an ally for somebody. I do feel that, who there might be somebody in your life that needs help this week. And so it's like you being somebody's support structure and you being like somebody's protector this week, I think is something I'm seeing from this, which is interesting. So maybe this is an opportunity for you to really tune back into your loved ones and your family and, make sure everybody's doing okay this week. So yeah, anyway, Capricorn, that is it for you. I hope that you have an excellent week ahead, and we're going to move on. So next up we have Aquarius. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. We will see what Aquarius needs to know. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. Oops, there goes one. Oh, there goes a bunch. Okay, great. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising. So Aquarius, you have the Page of Wands. So this week is some new beginnings energy for you as well. We've had a bunch of new beginnings. And with the Chariot, I think it's coming in really fast. Sorry, I just feel like, okay, we'll keep them. You got extra cards here, Aquarius. That's fine. So it's a swift moving catapult towards this like being in your own authentic power and like really charging forward with that powerful energy that you have. Now, with this Page of Wands, it's important to remember that, oh, and she's playing a violin. No, is she? Yeah, she is. She's playing a violin. That's cool. That's so funny. That's cool. So music, music might be big for you this week, potentially. I don't know why that's just like really popped out at me, but maybe this is a week of tuning into the musical energies, using music to help you through any situation, that kind of thing, or really playing music or singing, that kind of thing. But with this page too, it's important to remember the page is a student. So how can you embody the student energy this week? It can be tough to be a student sometimes because, especially if we're older, we've gone through a lot. We think we know a lot. We just want to be further along than we are. A lot of times that tends to be the energy. When you're a student, you just want to be done. But honestly, the student energy can be really helpful because it's this opportunity to do things differently. It's an opportunity to finally say, you know what, I don't know. I don't know how to do something, and I'm ready and willing to learn. And that when we can put ourselves into that place, that allows for really tremendous amount of growth and actually usually faster growth, because we're not getting in our own way as much, because we understand that we don't really know a lot and we're open and willing to learn more. And then we become these powerful sponge of information and possibilities. So, really embrace the student energy this week. I think that's going to help you out a lot. Now, a lot of swords energy. So, you might be a little bit tucked into the mind this week, Aquarius, and air sign makes sense. So, don't be too stuck in the mind here. With the Six of Swords, interesting. What's going on with the Six of Swords? I'm trying to remember what the Six of Swords usually is. I don't think the six is usually the resting one. That's the Four of Swords, but I do feel a little bit for you. Oh, you do have the Four of Swords. Well, look at that. That's fun. So you do have the Four of Swords. So there is this like resting rejuvenation energy coming in for you. And I feel that a little bit more too with this the Six of Swords here, which is usually, it's usually going towards calmer waters, I believe. I'm trying to remember what that one is. So there's just this like gentleness energy for this particular card. We'll just run with the imagery here. Rest, recuperation, and real loving kindness towards the self. Be gentle with yourself this week, in case anything's going on, because you do have ultimate happiness available to you too. You got the 10 of Cups. So it's sort of like, be tender. I think that's a big thing. Be tender, be resting, be tender with yourself this week, and really, I encourage you to really hone in on the self-love, because I think that's going to help you feel more calm, more connected to yourself, more possible. And then ultimately what that does is open you towards this real new beginning, towards the Wands energy. So you have the Page and you have the Ace of the Wands. So this is really much this brand new beginning in being able to tap into your passions, like for real, and understand what you want and go for what you want and not be afraid and bring in what you want actually into your life. You have that opening for you this week, but it comes from this tender place of rest and recuperating and gentleness and love towards your heart, So I encourage you to really do that practice this week, Aquarius, and that might make you feel like really powerful. Okay, so that was Aquarius. I think we have one more. Yeah, Pisces. So Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What do you need to know? Wow, that jumped way far. All right, we'll go there in a moment. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What do my Pisces need to know? Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. There we go. We got a whole clump of cards here. One moment. Okay, Pisces. Okay, Pisces, this came out for Sagittarius, I think, too. We've got the heartbreak card. So don't be too scared of this. This isn't me predicting anything terrible happening in your life. I think it's more like there's something about this week where you might start to feel some of the challenging things that have happened from your past. There might be something coming up that's bringing you an understanding of some past energy that might have been a little bit difficult, but you have ultimate happiness here. So you do have ultimate happiness available to you. This might be a moment for you to really tune into fully seeing and understanding what has happened in the past and what challenging things have happened, and maybe healing. Maybe this is a big healing week where you can finally, for the first time in a long time, start to think like, wow, actually, I have real happiness here. This is possible. How can I let this in to my life? And so this like heartbreaking energy doesn't have to be dominating as much. I have happiness here, because happiness is ultimately, it's a state of mind, right? And it's something that all of us can bring into our lives at any moment. And obviously, depending on what's going on in the internal environment, that can be easier or harder depending on the context. But with that happiness card popping out here, I mean, this is ultimate fulfillment. Like, this is one of the most joyful, fulfilled cards in the entire tarot deck. So for that to come out, it's really significant. You do have that energy for you this week if you tune into it. And with the Justice card here too, I do think that there's this feeling of, the good things you've done in the past coming back to you in a positive way. So tune into that positivity here this week, Pisces, because I think that's going to help you out a lot and help catapult you towards a place of feeling like you have things possible for you. And your final card, you have the Death card as well. This came out for one of the other decks, Cancer, I think, maybe, I can't remember. Don't read into this card too much. For me, this particular card, especially with this reading, is all about a transformation and a change and a real internal transformation. And I think that this week is bringing you a breakthrough on your transformation of healing something challenging that you've been through. Even if that stuff is subconscious and it's deep down, it's like maybe it comes up a little bit this week if you haven't even thought about it in a long time, but it's starting to pop up a little bit. It's sort of like this is an opportunity for you to clear it and to finally heal from it and to really allow happiness to come into your life. So anyway, Pisces, that's it for me, for you. I hope that resonates. We're going to move on. So now we've got the collective reading. Oh, and some cards are popping out right away. So for our collective reading, let me think about some of the messages that kept popping up. One of the big ones from everybody's was the importance of taking some time to wander, taking some time to allow in silliness to break up from the supposed to's and the serious energy, and really, do something in your life that's spontaneous, that's maybe kind of silly, that's maybe kind of bright, and let that come in. So I think that's a big message for the whole collective here. And some cards that just pulled out. Wow, we've got three pentacles. That's crazy. So we have the King of Pentacles, we have the Page of Pentacles, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. So we've got the Pentacles royal flush here, which is showing me that this is an opportunity this week for our collective to think about what spaces we're occupying. The pentacles, yeah, they can talk about abundance, yeah, they can talk about money, and we can talk about that here with these too. I mean, there is potential for money coming in, but more importantly, they talk about the physical world. They talk about the places that you're embodying. They talk about our bodies themselves, real physicality. They're about the earth and the earth plane. This is earth energies. So this week we are being encouraged to really take a look at the earth. And maybe this is even environmental. Maybe we can take some time and some opportunity to go into nature and to think about the nature that exists where we live. We're all living in different places. Whoever's tuning into this channel, and I think that's important to remember. That together we have this big, wonderful planet that supports us and brings us through life, and it's up to us to really take care of this world. And I think we're being encouraged to do that. It's interesting because this particular deck is very, very nature oriented, and very much this like forest sprite, fairy energy, fae kind of thing. So I feel like I'm getting a little bit of that, tuning into that energies as well for this collective reading. That you know, we're getting encouraged messages here from the fairy royal family of the pentacles in this deck, of making sure that we're being good stewards of the earth, because that's what we are as human beings. We have tremendous power over this earth plane, and um, you know because we have power over the physical and the physicality, that we do control the physical world in a certain section. Like, obviously there's a lot we don't control, but we've created these countries and these towns and these cities and all these things on top of the world, and we put buildings, and we put all this stuff. And so because of that, it's important for us to remember that the natural world and the nature is there. And so I think that this week, this might be a really good opportunity for us to think about nature a little bit more. Maybe go for a walk outside more often, and maybe hug a tree, just touch a tree. Tap into the energies of trees this week. And I think I'm going to do that. I might go find a forest at some point. So yeah, anyway, collective, that's it for me. We're going to open up the floor now to any personal readings. Does anybody want a reading right now? Because I've got my deck, and we got at least one person in the watching. So if you're watching this and you have access to the chat, just let me know. Oh, cool. Hey, Dad. Okay, Dad. You want a reading? Let's do it. That's cool. Hey. All right. Let's see. What's going on for you right now? All right. Okay. So we've got the Ace of Cups. So you're being given an opportunity right now to tune into your emotions and your emotionality. It's a new beginning. This card can talk about bringing in happiness and joy and possibilities. But emotions, the emotional spectrum is challenging. So with this emotionality card, it's almost like there's an opportunity for you to think about how to tune into your emotions in a way that allows you to move through them, and allows you to feel a little bit less blocking them off, or trying not to to see them, but more of an opportunity of feeling whatever needs to be felt and moving through it in whatever way is important. Now, you also have the Five of Swords, which can talk about moving through tricky situations, either with other people or within the self, and navigating any kind of like fight energy or any kind of control energy or difficult, if you're in some kind of either relationship dynamic with another person or even a relationship dynamic with yourself, where you're feeling as though you have to fight yourself for whatever reason, that there's this fight going on. I think sometimes this card can represent putting down the sword, and abandoning the fight, and that the fight doesn't need to happen anymore. So I think that the part of this is sort of like allowing yourself to have these emotional breakthroughs where you can break through that kind of that fight energy and see what's sitting behind it. Maybe there's something else behind it that needs to be seen and felt and expressed and moved through that can help you move forward a little bit. So yeah, let's see. We'll pull one more. Okay. We got the Chariot. So swift moving energy, moving forward fast. So you're definitely catapulting towards victory here. So I think ultimately there's real possibility, swift moving possibility towards something positive that's coming in. This strategy too, this positive strategy towards victory is possible for you here. Yeah, I don't know. Does that make sense? That was good. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I think you're the only one in the chat right now. Anybody else here? Okay, we do have another person. All right. So if you would like a personal reading, please let me know in the comments and I will give you one. Anybody? They might have left. I'm working through. All right. Yeah, I hope you're feeling okay. I know that things have been rough. I won't go into that, obviously, but, hope you're not too sick. Okay. 2 cards. I'm going to leave us. Yeah, let's talk. I'm down. Okay, I'm going to leave us off on a message here. We've got the 10 of Cups, which is ultimate happiness. So ultimate happiness is available to us here if we tune into it. And we have the 10 of Wands. So it comes from ultimate inspiration too. We don't have to hold on to things too hard. I think that's a big thing too. It's like we don't have to hold the whole world on our backs here. We can have some levity here. We can take some breaks. We can feel better. We can be lighthearted. We don't have to take everything so seriously, because not everything is as serious as we make it. And so there's some real understanding of levity here this week, of making sure that you're bringing in joy, making sure that you're bringing in play into your life. So yeah, anyway, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to head out, and I will see you all next week. And in the rest of these readings, please watch any of the Pick a Card tarot readings that are on the channel for more insights and more deeper readings. Catch you later.